What is that? See that? See that? What is that?
I repeat, we have discovered many people.
If you have not seen day one to this episode, please go check that out right now. Seconds ago, I was able to discover Jimmy's vehicle right here under me after 19 years. This pylon that I'm holding on to was drilled directly through the front end of the vehicle. I was able to identify human remains inside of the vehicle. This is one episode you are not going to want to miss. I'm Doug Bishop with Adventures with Purpose.
Okay.
Are you familiar with who we are?
No, I'm not.
So we're a volunteer organization that travels the country assisting families in law enforcement.
Okay.
We specialize in cold cases where people are missing and missing with their vehicle.
Okay.
We are documentary filmmakers as well. That's how we're able to spread our message. We have solved 27 cases in the last 2 years.
Okay.
I did uncover James Amabile's vehicle right there in front of them where they're at. I verified the license plate. I did an assessment of the vehicle while I was down there.
Did you do this today?
Yeah, this just unfolded. The second I got out of the water, I notified 911, which is what we do in this scenario.
Okay. So you're saying there's a vehicle under the water?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay. And how long has he been missing?
19 years.
How long ago were you in the water?
I've been out of the water probably 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay.
Yes.
So you're standing there. What kind of vehicle is it?
It's a 2002 Hunter Green Ford Explorer.
Okay.
License plate was FLA 478, which I removed and brought back topside.
Do you have that? Do you have that license plate now?
It's sitting right over there.
Okay. Let's take a look at it.
The problem with this one is the company that came through here and built these docks drilled the pylon right through the front engine bay of the vehicle.
So it's pinned down there by the vehicle?
It is pinned down.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you look inside the vehicle?
I did as much as I could. A little bit more can be done with another dive and another fresh tank or two.
Okay.
Being as though the window is open on the driver's side, I definitely would recommend moving forward to do as much identification as you can through the driver's side window before the car is disturbed.
Okay.
If the windows were up, I would say don't worry about that. Bring the vehicle up, do that all on land. But it's silted in.
Did you videotape any of this?
I did. I have underwater footage as well.
Okay.
Yeah. There's the visibility is not great, but there's some.
Okay. And you're saying there's a pylon right through.
There's a pylon right through the front hood, man.
Okay. And which pylon?
This pylon right here at the end. He disappeared December 4th, 2003.
Yeah.
We started our investigation this morning, and is what led us directly here. We do have the family here as well.
Let me get some people on the phone.
Yes, sir.
We'll start getting our stuff together. All right.
Absolutely.
Who dove down?
Us too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it buried in mud?
It is not buried whatsoever.
It's maybe up to a foot of the wheels are buried with silt, but the problem is the driver's side window is down and there's a pillar right through the hood of the car.
Okay.
That pillar is directly through the car. So
It's most likely going to have a bigger, it's going to be a pretty big operation. They're going to have to cut this pylon off and lift the car up, so they probably have to have an anchoring small barge.
Right.
And I'm not sure how the river company that put this in is probably going to have to come out here. Whenever they did what they didn't do a proper survey of the river, obviously drilling through the engine bay of a car. but we're not here to place blame on anybody. And
I don't think you're going to feel that. There's so much when you're ramming in things. I don't think
yeah, there's so much power.
Yeah.
Once it hits the first 2 times, it's going to go right through.
Yeah.
But you need to be aware of what you're drilling in regardless. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, but like you said, I didn't realize they survey.
I'm not sure about you and your water unit, if you have one or if you contract through the city. But we're here to assist in any way you need.
What brought you here? What brought you here to just start?
We travel the nation investigating cold cases. We specialize in cases where people are missing and missing with their vehicle. So we started this morning. We met with the family. We went over the facts of the case as it was presented to us. We started at the house, retraced his route. He was on his way to his babysitter, said he would be there in 5 minutes. We worked the theory that he woke up late, he overslept. He was in a diabetic, confused state, but because he overslept and woke up, adrenaline was running. When he got in his car, it hit him, and he just sort of drove and ended up down here. Yeah, and he just ended up down here.
Exactly right.
You know, that was the theory that we worked. Whether or not that's what's happened, we don't know, because obviously it's a crime scene. All possibilities are still in play, but it's up to us to find the where, not necessarily the why. Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
So it's right under this pylon?
It's right there, that pylon.
So the engine bay front end is aligned right here, and the rest of the vehicle is facing that way.
How deep's the water?
It's 24 feet to the bottom of the river and about 19 feet to the top of the vehicle. I'm the most experienced of removing vehicles from underwater in the world. We've removed several hundred vehicles, and this will make the 27th case that our organization collectively has solved in 2 years.
Neat.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Oregon.
Wow, you came all the way up from Oregon.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Do you have that footage? Can I see that footage of the vehicle? You have that?
Yeah, let's work to get that. Let me.
How far down do you
So
have to
it's
get together?
24. Well, I have the footage on my dive mask.
Okay, I don't tell how far down it is.
24 feet to the bottom of the river, roughly 19 feet to the top of the vehicle.
So it's sitting out.
The front of the vehicle is right here. The pylon is through the middle of the engine bay, and it's the rear of the vehicle is facing that way.
Yeah,
So
it's facing this way. Based on the current, when I was down there,
No.
I dropped the magnet. It was on the driver's side window.
Pylon on front of the engine bay?
Yeah, you see it? Just like that. Just like I just described it.
Okay.
Yep.
Holy crap.
Isn't that like this though?
No, the other way around.
I'll tell you what's going this way.
Yep. So it looks just like that.
Oh, yeah.
And just put that 20 feet down.
Okay.
I have some other sonar footage of a different sonar system, and then that's really what gives us advantage in these cases. That we specialize in sonar before we even dive, so we're really good at discovering vehicles underwater.
Okay.
Right now, what we've been authorized to do is just
See if anything's there.
to try to make identification.
Right.
And then
He
once
said
we
you
do
need
that,
the shovel to dig through the silt.
I don't.
No?
No.
All right, then I'm only
And
going to
and I don't want to
risk.
scoop. I just
no,
want
it's
to
only a
gently
little-
move a little bit at a time
Okay.
and be very careful as I can.
You're the boss.
Yeah. But if they give me the okay to go down and do the removal like I would like to do, then yes, I will need a bag.
Oh, so
I will
you
need that
pull
bag.
bones first?
Yeah.
Try to.
If that's what happens here and they allow, then yes, we will. There's absolutely zero liability to Ridley Township, the state of Pennsylvania, or anybody else. We are here on our own free will, and we're here to extend our services as volunteer, and we understand the risks that we're taking right now, full-hearted. Just so you know. Like,
Yeah, we're concerned for you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is easy stuff.
You get ready to go right now?
Yeah. Once we check each other's.
I don't want to interrupt you, but can I have a private conversation
Yes,
with
sir.
you? Thanks. I'm just concerned with this is a human body, and we have to treat it with the utmost respect. And I know you're doing that.
Yeah.
But you've done this before.
Absolutely.
And what is it? What are the other places? Like our cars office certainly can't get down there.
Yeah.
We're going to need your help.
Right. So I'm the most experienced in the world at doing this.
I believe it.
I'm not going to make any mistakes.
Right.
There's zero risk to you.
Right.
What I would recommend us to do to protect the integrity of everything during the entire process would be the second I do make an identification on human remains.
Right.
We then get a a bag from the coroner's office. Typically, there's some homicide detectives that carry them in their cars. We'll get one of those.
Okay.
We need to get the family. At this point, you know, if they want to be here, let them be here, but we need to advise them that, hey, this is probably not something you want to be a part of at this moment.
It's not the time. Show respect to a different service.
If they want to be up at the parking lot,
I am going to ask them, just because of the danger of falling in the water.
Yes.
I'm going to ask them to restage up there. They can see everything right there.
I've been with jurisdictions where they have screen blockings.
Right.
If we can set up a blocking right here, that way anybody from the restaurant can't see what's going on.
Right.
I mean, at this point, we're talking about bones.
Sure.
That most likely the bones are going to be solid black. They're going to look like sticks. When you've been underwater this long, they're no longer white. There's not going to be any flesh.
And we're going to need to pull that piling out, right?
Eventually, yes, we are.
So
to get the vehicle out.
What do you suggest? Like, you collect as much of the body as you can.
Absolutely.
And then we address this when we can get a barge here?
Yeah, if I can make identification, and I'm willing to do this all day, all night, all day tomorrow, and take really good methodical process of knocking this out the way it should be done. If I can make identification, then we'll slowly remove as much as we can. And then when I can no longer remove anything else, then we'll take something down and seal that window up.
Okay.
And then however we need to
I really like that, sealing that window up.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. That way, whatever I don't get, we don't have to worry about losing.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna probably need to contain the family. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's a very emotional moment for them.
And somebody just missteps wrong, we're gonna have another problem.
Yes, yeah. So we'll contain them in a more respectful area so that.
Well, right there is fine.
Yes, absolutely. And if we can. Do you guys have anything that we can set up here to block off visual from the restaurant?
I'll get the fire company down here.
Okay.
To do that.
Yeah.
And I'll get the coroner started.
Yeah, because I mean we'd have a restaurant over there full blast, and they.
In your opinion, you think from your past things that there are bones in there?
I'm 95% sure.
Okay.
Yep. And the fact that the water's been going in and out of the driver's window and it's slowly depositing silt.
And that's preserving our.
Yes. But the second the vehicle moves, it like all suctions itself out, and at that point we've lost everything with the current. You know, so let's make identification and go from there.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep.
I've made my way to the vehicle. I'm at the driver's side window. Do you have copy? I repeat, do you copy?
That's correct, Doug. I copy. You're at the driver's side window.
10-4.
Doug, just to let you know, the second diver's entered the water.
I have human remains in my hand. The human remains are in the driver's seat. I repeat, human remains are in the driver's seat. I'm going to begin my ascent topside, and then we can formulate how you want to proceed from here.
Copy that, Doug. Thank you. Good work.
Hey, Jared, here's Doug real quick.
Hey, Jared. I will be for at least the next 4 or 5 hours in a scenario that we were in, identical to Carrie Mae Parker, bone by bone, because it's sitting right near the open window. We do not want to disturb or move the vehicle whatsoever because, it'll slush right out. They're going. The coroner's on his way to bring me a bag. We're getting some mesh screens to block off the area. So well into the night I'll be doing this. If it doesn't take me that long, then great. If it does, we'll be right back in the morning to finish the extraction.
Just basically try to get the vent out of there. That's all that's left. I heard you say.
I don't want it moved until I can remove as much of Jimmy as we possibly can. Any movement of the vehicle, we'll risk losing
everything up.
Yes, yeah. And that's the easiest way to protect the integrity of the recovery of Jimmy. That's the best way we can do it.
Right.
It's the answers you need, It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And
you're
I
I
don't know if you guys agree with the theory that we worked simply just an accident,
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
I always thought he just walked away. Yeah. Honestly, I did.
Right.
Don't say that to the girls or in front of the girls.
No. When something like this happens and there's so many years go by, you go work through all those theories and what ifs.
Right.
It's normal.
Right.
He just woke up with a bunch of adrenaline, realizing he overslept, and it just.
Really, I never even thought this was going to be a real thing today. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Once we get the pylon cut, and or if they have a piece of equipment that can pull it out, I don't know, but if we can cut it or pull it out, that's the main thing. So if they're gonna pull it, I'm gonna go to the rear of the vehicle and be underwater, and as they're slowly pulling it, I want to make sure the vehicle just doesn't try to. Yeah. So if we can get it to slide out of it, that would be picture perfect. If it does, and we have to pull the pylon and rig the car to the pylon so it all comes out at one point, we can do that as well. If you have a barge here with a crane, super easy. I know that's
right. That's perfect. But what puts these things in? I guess a pylon. I guess a barge with a crane. Right.
It's a floating barge with a crane. I don't know this channel. I don't know what's allowed in and out here, or what is even used to coming in here. Obviously nothing big, because I went down.
The 420 won't let anything big come
something
through there.
With at least 40-foot spuds on it, because it's 25 feet deep, 5 feet for the barge. You would need at least something with
so those floating barges, they have hydraulic feet, and then it'll plant the barge into the ground, and it won't move. That way it'll allow the recovery. Really, the company that put these in and should have exactly what we need.
I hope they're still in business.
I don't know. That was 15 years ago.
Yeah, or a company in the Philadelphia area that does that. If we have to coordinate this for Monday, whatever it needs, I'm willing to stay and take as long as we need to do it.
Great.
Yep. And I know tomorrow's Sunday, so it's, if we have to take the day off tomorrow, we will. And we're here to be an asset and resource to use as much as you need us.
Yeah. Be careful down there.
Oh, I will. Yeah. Hello. I'm Doug.
Nice to meet you. Investigator.
Nice to meet you.
From the medical examiner.
Nice to meet you.
So they asked a few questions. Did you bring any remains up yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
All right.
It's hidden because we didn't want to disclose it to the family.
This front boat.
If you want to come over here with me. And with the human remains that I have removed in the past that have been gone this long underwater, it's
completely skeleton.
Huh?
Is the person completely skeletonized?
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's just one body.
Huh?
It's just one body.
As far as I know, yeah. And I mean, obviously, there's no tissue or tendons or muscle or anything left. But this was in the driver's seat, in the shirt, and I slowly lifted the arm, lifted it out, and then tucked the sleeve back in. And it'll be really slow what I do, one by one, into the bag, close, and then when I believe I have enough to come up topside, I'll then bring the bag up, get the empty bag, let you guys empty this bag, into, you know, I believe you have what you need to put it in, right?
Right. So we have a body bag. I think that would be.
Yeah. I mean, that would be most respectful in this scenario. I'm going to be down there. I have extra tanks. I can be here as long as we need to be here this evening. If we need to come back tomorrow to finish, we can. But I'm going to remove as much as I can until I'm confident there's nothing else for me to get. And then we'll work on sealing the window and then putting together a recovery operation to get the vehicle out. Where we're at right now in the process is I'm going to be getting into the water and doing a slow, methodical recovery of the human remains, bone by bone, very slowly, and bringing them up topside. From there, it's probably going to take, maybe it can happen tomorrow, maybe it can't. We're then going to seal the window up and then formulate a recovery plan to successfully recover this vehicle without losing any of its contents. As you know, the pylon is drilled right through the front end of the vehicle. So me and Anthony are about to get into the water and go down and try to remove as much of Jimmy as we possibly can.
That's one way to kill fish. It's gonna help you with your bits. There's a little notch in between the bottom.
I'm at 10 feet. I have made my way to the top of the vehicle. The top of the vehicle is at exactly 19 feet. I repeat, 19 feet.
Copy that, 19 feet.
Ears are completely regulated. Is fully intact.
Can you come again? You said the body is fully intact, the bones?
I said that the seatbelt is in the engaged. The seatbelt is fully engaged.
Copy that. Hey Doug, you still okay?
All is well. Making good leadway here.
Can you let me know when you're ready to surface with some of the evidence, please?
Making a lot of progress. There's going just like we wanted it to. I confirm it is going just like we wanted it to. Yep, we're working on the spinal column right now.
Hey Doug, just to let you know, there's a boat approaching, but we're going to stop them. So if you hear something coming, it's a boat. We're going to have them turn around.
10-4. All is well down here. We're making a lot of progress. Things are going very efficiently.
Copy that, Doug.
It's coming up.
Copy that, Doug. We're ready for you.
I just lost my position. I came off the car. Say it again?
You're over there.
Yes, correct. I came off the car and the current took me. So far at this point, we have been able to remove human remains from the vehicle. However, conditions are extremely dangerous. Anthony and I are caught in the tide and the current the entire time. We're getting hit by debris. So in order to be safe in doing this, we have made the decision along with the police department here to come back in the morning and reconvene during slack tide when it will be a lot safer for us to do so. If you have not already done so, at this point, we would like to urge each and every one of our supporters out there who are watching this, please subscribe, like, and share. This is how we spread our message.
Drivers in scuba gear possibly close an 18-year-old cold case.
I'm glad that we may finally have resolved, but I'm optimistic. But I still want to do our due diligence.
Saturday, officials with the Ridley Township Police Department confirmed divers found human remains in a submerged vehicle in the Darby Creek off I-95. Because of the vehicle, they believe this could be connected to an endangered missing persons case from December 4th, 2003.
Today, we're getting back in the water. We still have a lot of work left to do with the medical examiner's office and the setup for probably one of the most difficult recoveries Adventures with Purpose has ever been a part of. We have a pylon, a deck that has been installed and drilled right through the center of this vehicle. This is one of the most difficult recoveries I have ever been a part of. So we have Dominic back here today. Thank you, Dominic, for being here. It's an honor to help you and your family. So here on day 2, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get back in the water. We're gonna do as much work as we can for the medical examiner's office. Being as though that driver's side window is open, we wanna make sure anything that is within the scope of the window being open and the potential of it coming out during any type of recovery that happens gets out. So that's our main focus today. Once I am able to determine that there's nothing near the window that we run a risk of losing during a recovery when it does happen, I'm going to seal the window, and I'm confident in them moving forward with the recovery. If I'm not here, but I don't want them moving that vehicle at all if there's anything near that open window. You know what I mean?
If you seal the window, just out of curiosity.
Well, we're not going to be able to absolutely seal it, but what we can do is put a mesh lining over the window and secure it to the vehicle. And to give you an idea, the remains that are in the vehicle, potentially scattered, they're sort of cemented in by the silt. So once that mesh bag goes over, it's okay as long as they really do an efficient job in handling of the vehicle when they're doing the recovery. As long as they can do that without busting all the windows and destroying the vehicle, everything that's inside of the vehicle is going to remain there. Absolutely. Yeah. But the medical examiner's office is extremely happy with what we were able to produce to them yesterday. So I would consider what we're doing right now really just over the top, but that's what we do. We're here to do everything we can in the most thorough way possibly that we can. Yeah. Yep. And
I can't thank you guys enough for everything. I really can't.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Dominic. It's hopefully, and it's just a end to a nightmare that you've been struggling with for 19 years. It's the answers you need. And that's the main thing here. That's what you need to focus on. What makes this time frame right now so critical for us to do what we're doing is that we have slack tide at the moment. And these are the optimal conditions for us to do what we need to do underwater. But yesterday, with current and all of the debris hitting us underwater, things got really, really aggressive real quick. So we need to do as much as we can in a time frame before this current picks back up.
Yes, sir.
It's kind of like concrete. So what's in the vehicle?
That's correct, loud and clear.
All right, timer down.
Confident that the remainder of the skull is probably in the back. I didn't get the skull, but I was able to get the jaw. Yeah. Yep. Fortunately for the family, as well as the medical examiner's office, we were able to recover the most critical part of the human anatomy when it comes to making identification. Good job.
Good work, Doc.
So let's continue to do a little bit of scouring.
Okay.
And go from there.
Right.
So right now what they're doing is they're thoroughly examining all of the human remains that we pulled up. They're gonna have to go bone by bone, photograph, document really carefully. After all, this is evidence, and until it's completely ruled out, they have to cover their bases for a potential foul play. We don't suspect that whatsoever. However, when they're doing their jobs, they have to assume all possibilities when it comes to the handling of evidence and preserving it. It's a really extremely thorough process of integrity when dealing with forensics evidence. All right, let's get back down. Whoa.
If you need that bag, we emptied it. The bag is empty.
All right. Working with like 5 feet of visibility out here. Not that bad right now.
Working with like 5 feet of visibility out here.
I'm extremely confident that anything that could potentially be compromised as far as evidence is completely contained in away from the driver's side window.
Copy that. Good work, Doug. Thanks.
All right. I'm confident that the scene is secure. What are you guys? What are you forecasting possibly as far as the recovery?
That's going to be like a Monday question when we start getting on the phone and seeing what resources we can get out here.
Right.
We're getting that mesh bag for you now, and then what do you want? Some zip ties?
Yeah, some zip ties. Preferably not small ones.
Okay.
Just enough so I'm going to start up on the roof rack. And I zip tie.
Something like the HVAC
zip tie it to the top.
ones?
Okay.
And then I'll
he's
work
right here
my way.
behind you.
Huh?
Anthony's right here underneath you.
Then I'll work my way securing it to the bottom portion of the door.
Okay. All right, so you want larger zip ties? Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll work on that for you. Right. Thanks.
So the mesh bag, I'm gonna take up to the roof rack and then zip tie it through the roof rack and then bring it down over the window. I'm probably gonna take it into the vehicle and through the inside handle. I mean, whatever's in there is not moving. It's just I don't know if I'm gonna be here for the recovery, and if I'm not, I just at least hope that if something tries to come out the window during the recovery, we did it the most we could, you know. Yeah, let's zip tie the two together. Great idea. What we're doing right now, because the driver's side window is open, we're going to secure the window as much as we can so that no matter what happens during the recovery, none of the contents of the vehicle are going to come out. I don't foresee that, but what we're doing right now is crossing our T's, dotting our I's for any worst case scenario. You can't account for the unaccountable during the recovery, especially, an underwater recovery. When this goes on the window, if none of the other windows open during the recovery process, everything that's in the vehicle is going to stay directly in the vehicle. So the zip ties I'm going to secure to the roof rack and then down over onto the bottom of the vehicle. That way there's a screen along it, and I'm going to secure it around the door handle as well on the way down and around the mirror.
Tying them together so we can just go down.
It's 5 more?
Yep, that's good. No, that's good. That's perfectly fine. All right.
I'm then bringing the bag down and across the mirror, which fits perfectly, really secure, a lot better than I thought it was going to work, but it's going great.
That's great news. Good job, Doug.
Securing the other portion of the bag down through the handle of the door. It is working really good.
Copy that, Doug.
We're coming up topside. Window is secured.
Copy that. Great job, guys.
Position the monster magnet so that it will easily be able to come off the top of the vehicle. We don't have to worry about it snagging anything that we've done. So I end up taking the bag rectangularly and I put the handle around the mirror and then the corner of the bag up to the roof rack, across the roof rack and down, and then we cinched the bag to the handle all the way along. Yeah.
Cool, okay.
Yeah, and it's perfect.
So the points of contact you have with the roof rack?
The roof rack, the mirror, and the door handle.
Okay.
Yeah, so all across the top, mirror and handle.
Where's the black vinyl part? Is that on the bottom of the top?
The black vinyl part is
My side, right?
towards the back. Yeah. Yeah, that's not even coming into play.
No, I just wasn't sure I can get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. You got those straps on.
Yeah.
Perfect. Excellent.
And that loose handle, the handle group, that was around the mirror, and then I tightened it together with the zip ties all the way up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
We're gonna have to get some more of those to carry with us. That worked perfectly. We we run into a lot of scenarios where we have to contain windows, and we've used Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops with nets and that type of stuff.
Nets, whatever we can find.
And those big nets become dangerous, man. You open them things up underwater in a current, and you get. Yeah. Those.
A couple extra ones you can have.
Cool. I'd really like to thank you, Mark, and Ridley Township Fire Department, Chief here, medical examiner. It was a big effort in what we did today. It was successful, and this is a community effort. Absolutely.
We'd also like to thank you guys for all the hard work that you put in. You guys were amazing last couple days, and we got together quickly. We all got together and really teamed up to do what was best, and we really appreciate your guys' effort. You guys do a great job.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, there's a family that now has answers that have been missing for 19 years, and we're thankful that we're able to do that. It wouldn't be without your guys' support. You supporters that support this and make this happen. You're viewing, you're following, you're sharing, subscribing, everything that makes this happen. We're here. We wouldn't be here without you. Thank you.
You know, we're still in Philadelphia. Is this something that's going to happen on Monday?
It looks like it is.
The divers and the crane team, we're going to do it on land, make sure we got everything.
Just to this point.